already know what it is.
Huh?
3-7, no place like home.
None.
Me on the stoop, baby.
Huh?
And today,
Today,
baby. First of all, you probably read some of her work already. You know, you might have been in the Harvard Business Review, the New York Times, or something like that.
Atlantic,
Lenny's Letter, something like that. You might have seen some of that work out there already. You know what I mean? But
let her introduce herself.
I'm Maura Cheeks, author of Acts of Forgiveness. Happy to be here.
Ah, that's right. This is your first novel.
First novel.
Woo. Hey, this is I'm on it. First novel.
I'm honored.
On the stoop. Yeah. Now, of course, we've been researching you, and
what'd you find?
None horrible. Great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, numero uno. I did see you did have some, because I saw some Nick stuff. You know, because I saw some Nick stuff. I saw some other things, but we're gonna talk about the Knicks right now because it is Nick Nation.
Right now it is
Nick Nation.
Coming fresh off the W.
Yes.
Off the W.
No,
I don't know when this gonna air, but right now,
look, we got love for our Philly boys because you know it's a town of brotherly love. Yeah. Town of brotherly love, and here in Brooklyn we spread love. So you know, they kind of coincide. We got family down there, and
I'm from there.
Oh,
shout out to Philly.
Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Philly.
But y'all took the L last night.
But she's a Brooklynite. She's here. She's here. Listen, that's what happens when you come here
and the town embraces you.
That's right.
I can't be on record dissing the Sixers.
We are not dissing the Sixers. We are not dissing the Sixers.
I don't want you to have no beef when you go home.
We know you might have to
go beef, go home.
Go back home. So we're not dissing the Sixers.
Yeah. We got love for the Sixers.
Again, they did take the L.
Yeah. What was that guy that was talking all that junk about he wanted the Knicks and not the Celtics?
Reed.
Reed. Yo, Reed. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. But yeah, we had to get that out.
To the Knicks, baby.
Yeah. But you wrote articles, you know, the Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken. That's a DC paper. It's based in DC.
Based in DC. Magazine. Yeah.
Okay. How long you been? Because that's more journalism, isn't it? How long you been a journalist?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a journalist, but I started writing seriously in 2018 and pitched some articles, and that's how I got my literary agent through some of my nonfiction work. Yeah, so I wrote the Atlantic article, which was talking about the racial wealth gap, and then from there I got the idea for the book.
So what is a journalist that you wouldn't call yourself a journalist? What's the difference, right?
I'm just not pursuing journalism full time. I'm not primarily writing nonfiction, and a lot of the nonfiction I write has a personal lens. So I would say most of the journalists like to remove themselves from the articles, but most of my nonfiction has sort of like a personal lens to it.
Okay.
Well, coming from Philly and living here in New York. The racial gap when it comes to, you know, anything. You know, you're coming from a person who's experienced it or witnessed it. You know, how has that, I guess, sparked? Because, you know, we grew up in neighborhoods where, you know, nobody wanted to live, you know. We lived there, and we always saw, you know, we saw the great in it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that there weren't some things that could have been better, you know.
Saw the great in it.
But we saw the great in it. Like, you know, Mama made scraps. She made Thanksgiving out of scraps every time, you know. So it was always a blessing to come from where we come from. And, you know, appreciate some of the things. But, of course, when it comes to the racial divide, you know, police, money, you know, so with
police,
that.
What? Police brutality. Say it.
Well,
I mean,
policing, period. So, you know, it's not even just the brutality. We're talking about
all around.
All around. So, you know, sometimes you might not get policed. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might get over policed. Then, of course, you got the police brutality. Then you got, you know, what are they doing now? The racial profiling. So you got all of the policing. You know,
police overkill.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah. So we're not gonna just touch on. We're gonna say policing. You know what I'm saying? Because policing is big in our neighborhoods. You know, now that the neighborhoods have changed so much, the policing is a lot different. You know, but again, these are some of the things that actually spark some of your interest in writing your article, which then sparked this great novel.
Yeah.
You know, so let's get into this. Let's get into this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the Atlantic piece I was writing about, so my dad played in the NBA. He grew up in the Robert Taylor homes in Chicago. So I was writing a lot about, you know, his journey from growing up in the projects to playing in the NBA. And then on my mom's side, my grandfather started a construction business and then moved the family to a predominantly white neighborhood. So I sort of was writing about those two different backgrounds.
Different experiences.
Yeah, and different experiences. And, you know, my dad had talked a lot about what it was like growing up the way he grew up. And then I was sort of growing up in this predominantly white neighborhood outside of Philly, and just the differences between the experiences that we had. Yeah.
Experiences will shape us because I mean, to have a dad played in the NBA, you know, and to have the construction element, because you know, those are two. Well, now they are two different worlds. You know, like you got the person that's out there getting their hands dirty, and you know, you got the other person, you know, just playing basketball. You know, nowadays they're making millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So those are two vastly different worlds. You know what I'm saying? Those are vastly two different worlds. And coming from Chi-Town and then going to Philly, like, and you went to like a suburb of Philly. So that's not even, you ain't go from Chi-Town, from the projects to Philly, the hood. You know, so those are two vast different worlds.
Yeah. So I was writing about that for the Atlantic, and then you know, I was interviewing a professor who studied reparations, and in talking with him, you know, I was just sort of, the book imagines that there's a federal reparations program. So in talking with him, it was sort of like, okay, well, what if this actually happened? What would it look like? What would it be like for one family? And what would they have to do to prove they were eligible?
Because
so that was, we were told, I'm glad you went there, as a matter of fact. So me and Cousin was talking about that, like, so let's say imagine that was something like that was going to happen. That was the exact issue I was kind of having with it. Like, how would you determine who's gonna get what, how much you get? How would you prove something like that? What was his take on it?
Well, he's written a book called From Here to Equality, which I recommend if you want to learn more about it. But because he wrote it with his wife, and they go through a bunch of different scenarios in terms of what the check amount would look like and how you would prove your eligibility. But
eligibility.
Prove your blackness to get this check, huh? Certified check. We need that blue check, baby.
Because now we don't have a federal mandate yet, but we do have certain cities and that are actually taking us on, because you speaking it into existence, you know.
Well, they were doing it in Evanston.
Yes.
I think they passed it right when I started writing the book.
Oh,
what they're doing in Evanston is cool, which is, I think it's $25,000 housing grants if you can prove your family or your ancestor was a victim of redlining.
Which is another example of how it's not slavery, but it's so many different laws and bills that that actually hindered people from getting wealth, from obtaining wealth. And what I'm saying, redlining is one of them. So it's not just slavery.
Right.
Everybody always goes back to slavery, but there's so many other things. Redlining, which is, they didn't want you living in certain neighborhoods, so they wouldn't give you mortgages. You know what I'm saying? So these are
Social Security benefits. You couldn't
Yeah.
tap into Social Security. But
it's these are so because it when you look at it, when I look at it, let me say that when I look at it, I think there are so many more things other than just a dollar. You know what I mean? Like when you talk to someone who maybe whose parents that came from slavery, there's a different mentality, there's a different mindset that they talk to their kids with, that now the kids inherited that, that the way those people have raised them. So you are very particular with some of the ways you deal with other people that aren't your race and within your race. The mindset. So I think that I've been saying that I think that every black person in America should be afforded mental therapy. I think every and because I mean, it might not have affected
You want that on your when they say, yo, bro, you could get your reparations back. You want to say, yo, add therapy on mine. That's what you want.
Not even therapy. I think all black people should be medical. Period.
I agree.
Free therapy, free medical.
Because it's like they say, your health and wealth, all of that is tied in one.
If
So
they gave you a chance to tailor make your what your reparations list would be like, what would you want on it? 3 things you would want on it.
What would you start it with?
what would I start it with?
Yeah, what
Of
would you
course,
start it
I think you need to start it with health care,
Yeah.
because just like we've always known that some of the things that we've eaten was not best for our health. So you cannot go out there and obtain any kind of wage, a real wage that can contribute to your wealth if you're not healthy enough to go out there and perform. So I think healthcare is like numero uno. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? I would, please give me my options. Tell me my options so I can. Housing.
Some cash. Yo, cause I was telling you earlier, he would prefer something like they was doing at the other spot. Give me some bread for a home.
He did say that.
Something like that. So
his nasty ass right there.
Well, let's do it like this. We've been, because we're here in New York. So at one time there was a mayor, the first black mayor. Let me not say that. Dinkins was doing up in Harlem. He was giving away houses for $1, right? So and let's go in layman's terms for $1. So if you bought this house for $1 and you stayed there and didn't sell your home, right now your immediate family would be a multi-millionaire from the asset of having that home. Straight up and down. You got homes that, of course, out in Long Island, out in certain parts of Brooklyn, that are already multi-million. So those people's families can pull from that, and those are the other things. I think that when it comes to school, nothing against school. I don't want nobody coming at me, no teachers, the board of ed. I know, Mr. Adams, you over there, you just push so you can control board of ed some more. But why are we teaching them 30,000 years of English, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, instead of giving them financial literacy classes, things that they can put forth into their everyday life. Like,
Or it should be in addition to.
in addition
That should
to.
be another part.
It should. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up around, and I was telling him earlier, we grew up around not too many working people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that. Not too many working people. So when you get a job, at the time you got a job, we talking about pensions and 401ks. I'm like, what is that?
Right.
Because one, I ain't learned about it in school, and two, I'm not in an environment where we're talking about what it takes or what a pension is, what a 401k is, which now, if I don't know, I'm not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But the law says ignorance is no excuse. So now how do I win? Where do I win? Because the law is saying that, ignorance for not knowing the law, it doesn't excuse you from not, from not knowing the law and abiding by the rules. But yet and still, when it comes to trying to obtain wealth for my family, no, I'm not getting taught those things, and I'm not around people who's going to be like, yo, what's the difference between a 401k? What's the difference between a pension? What's the difference in time and tenure versus, you go in and you only got to do 20 years in and you out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Question: Can you really have wealth without owning the land? Like, why is it New York don't sell land? Like, why is everything just property?
It's
like
a
monopoly.
City. It's a city. The city. So that's our guy. He usually over here. He usually over here sitting on the floor.
We deal with because we film outside, so we got to deal with everything. We got to deal with the elements.
You're interesting.
Oh.
Surprise.
All right.
You see how this goes? See how this goes? So, in the cities,
Shout out to Duce too.
Huh?
shout out to Plush.
Shout out to Brother Malcolm. What up, baby? That's right.
Yeah. Yo, Rod.
Right.
Okay. You know how I know it's warm though outside? Uncle Mike is out. That's why. Shout out to Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike is back out.
Continue your thought though.
Okay.
It's gonna get wild out here.
So in the cities, most of the cities in the city, not in the state, but in like LA, New York City, you own your house, but you don't own the land that your house is on.
So it's monopoly for real.
So yeah, that's why it was so important for people that, reparations, because they promised you 40 acres and a mule.
Yo, see, since you going in, so
Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Cheeks speak a little bit more. Let's get back.
I want her to interact.
Because you went there on the reparations side, and in the book, you speak about how if a family would hypothetically speaking get that, did you have to do any research, or did you do any research on reparations?
Yeah, so his name's Professor Darity, William Darity. So he wrote this book, From Here to Equality. So I met with him a lot to figure out, like, what would the number look like? Mm-hmm. So he has a couple of scenarios. One is like, if black people are 12% of the U.S. population, how much money would it take to give us 12% of the wealth in the country? So that's like one number. Another number is that you could use if you calculate the wages that slaves should have been paid up to in present day dollars.
Exactly. I was about to say, like, what you gonna do from there?
That one doesn't take into account, discrimination after slavery. So the plan that he is in favor of, and the one that I write about in the book, sort of encompasses discrimination from slavery, but also up to today. So
and what's that equation? Yeah, what's that equation?
Well, the number in the book is 175,000
per
person.
Per family.
Per person. But Which is, you know, it's not enough. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot because
It's not a lot.
But it's
It's something.
it works for the book because
Oh,
it
yeah,
had
of
to be a realistic number.
Okay.
You know, to see if it could be implemented.
But the question,
And so
what you gonna do?
then-
You gonna say, "Nah, I don't want it."
Oh no, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I might be, but I'm taking that.
Let's just say they like, yo, all right, so boom, that's what we gonna give everybody. Like,
Right.
if you can prove this, that, and the third, we're gonna give you a bucket some change. What you gonna say? Nah, I don't want it, huh? You ain't want your little stimmy check? Huh?
Now,
You gonna say,
I
no?
see them.
I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna start a petition because
Go ahead.
if you can't own land, there should not be no one owner in a corporate team. All New York teams should be owned by New York, the whole New York, not one individual. So your boy James Dolan, your boy.
I'm sitting down like, where you going with this? How you going with this? To the Knicks, to the Knicks. I'm like, what are you talking about? But drink your Douce, man. Drink your Douce. The land. Talking about his reparation is him owning part of the Knicks, like Green Bay does with the Packers.
Forgiveness for the Knicks.
Yeah. All them years of torture.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No more watch parties.
Listen, you can craft any reparations package you want.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Let your voices be heard.
He's starting a petition. And I'm gonna be the first one to sign it. I let that be
You need
known.
that
I'll be
land,
the first one to sign it.
City and all.
Yeah.
So,
Again, I think that when it comes to not necessarily the money, 175 is a great starting point. You know, we see they give out money to everybody that is an American.
Billions.
well,
Yeah.
even during when I was writing it, the PPP money passed, right, during
Okay.
the pandemic. So it's clear that it can be mobilized and dispersed quickly
Yes,
if we need it.
If needed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they want to do right by us. You know, they want to do right by us. And let's go into some acts of forgiveness. You know, give us the let's start. Give us the 175, and you know, let's see if let's start from somewhere. I'm
First,
sorry.
we're going to change the definition of working to a skill. And I think if we label skill, we'll get paid more because basketball players, football players are skilled. They get paid big bucks.
Big bucks.
So I don't want to be labeled as a worker. I want to be labeled as somebody that have a skill. And if I could utilize my skill and make more money because they respect the word skill, but they don't respect work. That's my feeling on it.
You're right. We got that. We got that? Oh, I will make sure we got that. We want to make sure we got it. Drink up that Douce, my nigga. Drink up that Douce. I've got to call Douce tomorrow because he on fire. 2 weeks in a row. Drink that Douce up, nigga. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Kurt. Take it there, Kurt. Take it there, Kurt. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why'd he rub me the right way? Go ahead, cuzzo. Take us home. I'm sorry.
Look, I do got a question though. Is there any particular message you wanted the people to pick up from the story you were telling with your?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the conversation about reparations, it's always politics and statistics. So I wanted to focus it on a family to say, like, it's about the people and it's about what it means for individuals and families. So that's why I wrote about it.
Now, do you? I mean, you know, because I told you I'd take the 175. If they was giving more, would you take the 175?
Is it that or nothing? Because yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these questions would be like, yo, if I got nothing, like if I got nothing, and you telling me,
you know, also the family in the book, you have to go through a lot to get the documents you need in order to prove you're eligible.
Yeah.
So some of that is like your family might not have those documents.
Yeah.
You might not have time to go to the archives and find the stuff you need. So, you know.
That's like the pandemic. That's like asking people would they take that 1,200. Do you want it or don't?
Right.
We could have got more, but You want
You'll
this or
take
not?
what the
And everybody took that 1,200.
They sat down and beefed about it, but you
They
know,
took it.
yeah, like you
So
took
that's
it.
just like you said. Either you want it or you don't.
And
Take it or not.
you know the wild thing about it
It was
is
like this.
we with Plush Vodka, we just got minority stamped. We just got the minority stamp. There was a meticulous process that took us over a year and change
To prove you
to
was
prove
right.
we was a minority. Like, so it depends on what's going on. Because when the police pull up, they say, yo, I got a black man over here in blue jeans, you know. But in order for you to, with business,
Legitimized.
yeah,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
They
a
make
process. They
cartoons.
wanted him, my CEO, they wanted him to get
There's
his
no
birth
snap
certificate,
judgments.
yes,
Yeah,
his father's, his mother's,
Yeah.
go to the
Make
doctor.
sure you exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's definitely when it comes to proving it,
Right.
you know, it's I mean, look, I don't know how you want us to prove it, you know, because some of us can't go back so far with our lineage. Like,
Right.
you know, you got some of these ethnicities and some of these races that can talk about their grandfather's grandfather's grandfather. Some of us could only go back to our grandparents.
3 or 4 generations. Yeah.
You know, so I'm one of them that can only talk about my grandparents. You know, so I can't even go past my grandparents. So the sad thing about it is you got these 21andMe's and all that ancestry.coms. You know, we need a genealogist.
Right.
Because, you know, for my grandmother, who was, you know, I don't know, they say she was an Indian, but she was from Virginia. In Virginia, if you left off the
Like my family.
reservation, you get labeled black, right?
Yeah.
You get labeled black.
Yeah.
So you're not even a Native American no more.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how these things could play out, because now I don't get my 175 and I'm tight. I'm tight. I'm going postal.
Bro don't want to pay no taxes, so he wanted
That I don't want to pay ever. I don't want to pay ever.
He want black reparations. He want Indian reparations. He want to own the casino.
So us
all
up
types
here,
of shit.
we saying come to at least 215.
He want everything.
Good. Let that 175 stay down there.
He want the
Then I
Indian.
mean, whatever.
Huh?
Like, and
Can I
look,
ask you a question? Like, if they gave you a choice between land or the 175 or any type of money,
That's a good
would you take the
question.
land or the money?
I want the land because they not making no more
making
land.
no more land.
They not making no more land. They not making no more land. That's right.
They utilizing it for them. Like they
Money
boy.
comes with too many consequences, I feel. Because, like, if you, like, think about the stimulus, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, they gave out free money, if you will, right? Everybody was gimme. But then it's like, now we talk about inflation.
Right.
So it's like, because they know you got money, now they want to raise the price on everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, you'll take the 175 and then be like, yeah, you want the reparations, 175, 215, whatever. But guess what? The price on houses just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Like, we're at the billions now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
What do you do
back
with
at
that?
square one. Then
Yeah.
it's like, yo, but now you gave me all this money, and it's like, I still can't do shit.
Useless.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I feel like I would do the
Take
land.
the land. Yeah,
I feel like I do the land because at least
I'll
with
take the
that,
land.
it's mine. Like, I got it. Like, you can't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
This square, whatever foot, is mine.
Yeah.
Like, I can build
But-
something. I can
Now you
sell
can't
it, I
afford to now. So, but you better.
I mean, you got
But you
more
can sleep on
options
your land.
like that.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Gracefully, you sleep on your land.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Grass grown and all.
you grow your food and everything.
Everything.
You're like, and that's the thing. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
to be able to grow your own food. Like, we ain't saying you're gonna go out there and shoot 1,000 cattle and make steaks, but you
just
can grow.
straight sweet fruit.
You can
That's
grow
it.
fruit.
That's
You can
it.
grow
You can
vegetables.
rent the
Everything
land.
was
You can rent the land.
Rent it out.
You know, even logging. You can sit down now and logging is a big thing. People want to come get your trees. They clear off your land. So there's a lot of opportunities with land.
Yeah, we own it.
Yeah, we're owning. Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
The owners
That's a good
of land.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are kind of
I
sharp.
know. It's good. Good conversation. It's also, so in the book, it's called the Forgiveness Act.
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted to write about the irony of Black people having to do the burden of forgiving, but also they're the ones that have been harmed. So the irony of sort of still having to prove you're worthy of forgiveness.
Yes. just to get just to get whatever little bit of cheese they might sprinkle on top of the pizza, like that. Nah.
But I guess anyone who's being asked to forgive is also the one who's been harmed.
Oh,
So that's what I was
It's-
trying to explore there.
is it the biggest thing is black people are so forgiving. They have been for years. The only thing about it is we tend to not forgive ourselves, like our community. Like we need to stop being so forgiving of everyone else.
You can burn this
First-
bitch down, baby. Burn it down. I'm serious.
You went there.
Yo, Ron, that's what the views of Nah.
That is him. Like I said, like that. That's the time you go like this. You go touch the book like though. That's acts of forgiveness. You know, like that's what you touch the book like no.
Read this book.
That's it. That's why I'm here.
We here for forgiveness. My bad.
Whoa.
That's funny.
No
You made him lose his train of thought.
Where in New York? Where you live in New York?
I'm in Gowanus.
Gowanus. Gowanus is expensive in Gowanus.
Expensive.
I remember
building.
Gowanus.
About that earlier.
I remember Gowanus. You don't know?
Now you do.
Hey,
I do, for sure.
you don't know nobody from Gowanus?
Never. Before my life. Before her.
Is he from Brooklyn?
No.
Oh, okay. So
No.
he's not even from
See, that was
Brooklyn.
negative.
You know what I'm saying? So if he ain't from Brooklyn, I can understand he don't know. Oh shit! Here we go. Where he was born in Williamsburg. He was born in Williamsburg, the South Side.
Shout out to the South Side, baby. Shout out to the South Side.
Shout out to Glendale, because that's where you from. Shout out to Glendale. What up, yo?
Glendale.
Shout out to Queens.
Yo, Glendale and Ridgewood is like Brooklyn, though.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Kurt.
Yo, I wish I
Listen,
right. Compare everything to Brooklyn.
No, thank you.
It is not Brooklyn. It's not
It is Queens.
Glendale
It is
is
But
Queens.
they remind me of Brooklyn. It ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump. That's Brooklyn.
It's more Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yo.
borderline Glendale.
You was born in Brooklyn,
Like Queens,
and through acts of forgiveness,
Glendale.
we will say
Now
that.
you're part of
See, look, you saying part of Brooklyn. See,
So you
like,
can't get no Brooklyn reparations. I know that. You gotta have to wait your turn in Queens.
We're gonna drop that to 30,000. We're gonna drop that to 30,000.
175. And remember, up there they was getting 215.
We get 215 up here.
You
215,
getting 30?
175, 30.
That's
it.
why we get.
And that's
why
only-
we want to get 175
For land.
Yo, I gotta get to the top of the steps. I get to the top of the steps. I might get 350. I might get 350.
Exactly.
You make sure you tax that man.
You know, 215 crew, baby.
She'll do it.
Yeah, you gotta go up there.
Dad come
Yeah.
and stay with me. It's all good.
Yo, like I said,
you don't gotta worry about that.
listen, this is the skill,
Okay.
this is work,
Okay.
and that's the just because.
Damn.
So, you know.
Sheesh.
He's the one behind the camera.
No,
I'm gonna go up there though.
make it all happen, but you got to get up here for the skill.
I'm gonna get up there, cause don't move your feet. Then get up, go up higher. Sheesh. Man.
It's the top here.
Yeah.
We go up higher.
That's funny.
So, are you planning to write another book? That's what I want.
think so.
Another novel.
Another, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
but
enjoyed it.
I loved it. Yeah, but I'm opening a bookstore cafe right now, so
Where at?
it's in Gowanus. Well, Carroll Gardens, but
God.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
The book
It's
bar.
when-
It's a
when-
book bar.
Yeah, named after my grandmother, Liz's Book Bar.
This is book bar.
Yes.
When is it? When are we looking to open?
Yeah, coffee, beer, and wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, coffee, beer, and wine.
June 15th, hopefully.
Oh, June 15th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You having a grand opening?
I will, yeah.
Can
Once
we
I
get
have,
invited?
of course,
Okay. I just want to make sure.
if you're on good behavior.
Don't have no Duce here. Don't have no
Yes,
Duce
yes,
there.
yes, yes.
Don't have no Duce there. Yeah, don't have no Duce there.
Coming to show us it's gonna be a good day.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a great day.
And
That's
I'm
gonna
wearing
be
a
a great day.
tuxedo.
To come through.
Huh?
That'll be a great day.
Of course.
Yeah.
So once I have a firm date,
Yeah, yeah.
come through.
That's I mean that's kind of you went from an article to a novel to opening a bookstore.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Bro,
That's yeah.
Bro,
That's how you. That's how you. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Ended that in NY.
Yeah.
Left the
Yeah.
Philly,
hometown.
not brother
Now
to
you
brother.
know, that's the brother.
Oh, here
She
they
came
go.
over on this side.
Yo, chill out,
She
chill
got-
out,
Nah,
man.
we gotta
Chill
know.
out, chill out.
These are the facts, brother.
Yeah, but we got some family down there. Chill.
I know, but this do not
Well,
happen
all I
in
know is she was like, "Yo, it ain't really shaking
Yo,
like here."
trying to get me to say something.
They trying to get you.
They're trying to get me
just
on
like you
record.
said, she came to the town. She came to the
And
town
got down, baby. And got down.
So you know, huh?
Shout out to the grand opening.
Well,
Coming, baby.
Well, I'm gonna say I do have something, and it's not Philly involved, but it's definitely Big Brooklyn, because you know that's where we from.
Okay.
No,
You know.
that's where she from now. She
I said we. I said we.
No, we all, no, everybody got to say we all Brooklyn.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's right.
See that's it. Don't
I get the
fall into it.
175. No.
No, she said, don't get in trouble at home.
They trying to. Yeah, you gotta go. She gotta go. She gotta go to Philly. It's holidays and stuff. You gotta go to Philly. What are y'all doing?
It's all good
The
though.
way the Knicks doing, man.
All I know is, did they give you any gifts when you was out there? Because when you were in Brooklyn,
All right.
Because you
when
know,
you were in Brooklyn,
we
Just
want you to know
Brooklyn
you
dope.
just Brooklyn dope.
That's
That's
awesome.
it.
You know, and we want to say thank you,
Thank you.
congratulations, and
ask for forgiveness. Bring
ask for
that up, not
forgiveness,
now,
yes.
but right now.
yes. Listen, I was waiting for Shamik, because Shamik, he got a bunch of questions
That's the
when it
bar
comes
right
for
there.
reparations, but he on the phone and handling all this big business.
He's doing some business deals.
He
Yeah.
preparation.
Yeah.
He doing something else.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank
This
you.
was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to get the book. She actually got a bookstore opening.
Can we get a loud clap,
Yeah,
baby? Word. You heard?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
heard?
Go Sixers.
Yeah, you said that kind of low. I don't even know if the mic picked that up. You gotta say that a little louder.
Tell us that
Tell
loud.
us, yeah, let's look. We
No, I'll take my check.
yeah, well, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
And once
You know.
again, baby.
Huh? As
Catch me-
always. As
Catch me
always.
where?
Catch
As
me on the stoop,
always.
baby.
Catch
Thank
me
you.
on the stoop, baby.
237.
237.
No place like home.
Acts of forgiveness. Go get that. You hear that?
You heard?
My
New
Miss
York
Cheeks.
zone.
No.